Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Let's continue with another turn in the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. Ready to... well, let's start with moving you in here. 36th motorized is also not in a super amazing position. At least I already have a unit in Kalinin. Let's move you here. I'm not gonna move the Panzer Division, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna move you over in here, so they have a bit of a better position than before. These places are empty too. Basically, at this point, I rather want to focus on encircling these two units, which is not a lot, but I'd rather do that than whatever, advance super far or something. Yeah, okay, they also have additional defenses in there. So, taking this area and potentially, yeah, I can't even defend there. So, we'll see how that goes, whether it holds. They'll probably push these guys back at the bare minimum, for, at least from their perspective. And, oh yeah, I don't have any AP. This guy is in bad shape. But there's nothing really that I can put in there. I mean, I do have the 5th Panzer Division. I'd rather keep 5th Panzer in that hex, though. Let's actually still just move you over to Mozhaisk on a refit. 40%, just not gonna cut it. Can I move them further? Yeah, okay, let's get them to Borodino for a refit there. And let's take a look at the core. So that Panzer Corps seems to be fine. But then I have this core not being able to go there, but here. You into Kalinin. And then I have these that need to go in here for the moment. Yeah. This is the 27th. Let's put a unit into the 23rd. There we go. Still need to keep them in there. I don't think they by themselves will be able to deal with this, although maybe like this. Let's at least again another hex. That has been taken care of. All right. Oh, you're part of a Panzer Corps without panzers. Let's put them under the 9th, so it's a bit of it's a slightly better distribution. And also send 3rd Panzer Army over from Vyazma to Gatsk. Do I need that? No, never mind. I'd rather have these units being, the armies in as big a city as possible. As close as possible, of course. If that's not a thing, then no. But I don't actually need supplies in the middle there. I'll get rid of the depot. Doesn't give me any points or anything, but it gets those units close to the front. Okay. You can stay there. You need to move forward into Kaluga. Then there is this unit. I actually want to get the 216th into Tula as well. Sweet. They're surrounded for a turn, I suppose. I don't think it will hold out much longer than that. Ah, shit. Okay, they still push them. That's not a great result as I might have liked, but it does allow me to take Efremov depot. Where they will stay. So, you'll move up. I don't need... Shit. Again, the amount of units that I have in this area is so deplorable that I can... I need this unit as some kind of security around on the depots. Like I just... I'll send one part here and 2 parts to cut that rail line. I really like to have them have one less rail line in that area. I mean, it still works from here, from Borisoghelsk over to that side, but they cannot get any supplies through here down to Borisoghelsk anymore. So, that still helps some. I can see them just moving up here. Like there's just straight up nothing I can do. But how? That's an X already. Okay. LV. And there's whatever this is. I mean, I will move forward with you. Let's move a... let's see. So this Panzer division is super weak. And these guys too. In fact, I'd like both of them to move back. Let's send both of them over to Dubna, because their situation is so deplorable. Like, let's do that, and I have this Panzer Corps. I'm gonna put you guys under the 56th, and I'm gonna take something else then and put it under the 47th. Like if I put you here, I can put you under the 47th Panzer Corps, and that should technically solve that situation. You're on refit, so you're not gonna do anything. Neither of these units can... Yeah, I mean, you need to at the very least go to Cherepet, if not further. They will very likely break this, obviously, but again, I'm trying to get this over time. I'm also just kind of moving my own units through here to make it more difficult for them to do anything. Of course, it's just as terrible for my troops here as for them, but it's a significant number of Soviet units altogether, I'd say. And let's go to the OKH. I have two Luftwaffe Field Corps. One is here with 6 units. I'll put it on the Army Group Center. Because it means it will just have one more check. And the other one is down here. And I cannot put it on the Army Group A, which is now overburdened again. Yeah, let's keep the under Army Group A. And then call it quits. These turn switches are still very dreadful. It's a disaster still. Not enjoying those turn switches. No siree. Technically I could have taken back this here 1 hex, but it will be under such heavy attack from all sides that I don't think these guys would be able to hold either which way. I think it would always become a problem again. Will be I'm not sure actually whether we'll be going into February already. Maybe. I'd have to take a look. Furlovo. Yeah, they retook Furlovo, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Another yeah, they've a crazy amount of units there that are I think they're building, so not really sure how things are, you know, going with those troops, but alright, so they tried getting in there again. Of course, I do have the 215th Infantry Division. They're still flying out in heavy snowstorms. I have no air protection, but I'm able to hold my own quite well there. Same here. They've given up on attacking these. Sure, I still have double. They must. We'll see whether about I can take that hex. That's a lot of tanks. I guess they could attack again. Yeah, I did already say it's very likely they're gonna take that back. I did lose a gargantuan amount of men there. And this held. Oh man, they had so many tanks there also. Insane. They seem to really beef up their attacks in this section as well. This is against those panzers. First attack failed, second one as well. They're just trashing their units into it, at least on that point. Given the amount of units that we can see, it's hard to say how many more units they will have in the back here. I'm trying to get that way, but I think I can then go around and encircle those guys. Second breakout attempt failed. can't see how many movement they have. Seems like the Soviets decided to go and attack a Cheer station. 40,000 men. Well, it's only the Rifle Corps which has 40,000 still. This is quite a lot. Good thing though is that they did not receive any supplies, at least for a turn down there. Obviously things are rough here. 65,000 men attacking into the 7th Panzer Division, holding for now. But that's insane. Tricky too. They will rout, obviously. Or at least retreat. We'll see what they do next. Most important thing for me is not having these units have any supplies for now. We'll see whether I'll ultimately be able to hold this eventually through some means. Yeah. Also, like 127,000 men here again. The level 4 fortification is holding quite well still, but I can eventually see that breaking though. Wouldn't like it, yeah, obviously. Retreating a second time, no surprises at that. Attacking the southern part of Stalingrad here, which is held by 2 Romanian corps. 60,000 men. It's almost equal numbers. It's not that bad that they attack that. Holding a second time, although a lot of tanks have been lost here. Seems like they're attacking with some tank corps down there. Seems like they also crossed a river here at Kalach with some unit. Let's pause for a sec. So I put those units there. Seems like they attack with... I'm not even sure that's a fresh rifle corps. At least they have 2 corps there. Could potentially surround this unit and this unit here if they don't bring up any reinforcements or move those units. They haven't moved to their frontline building hex yet, but if I can take this and this, that will set me up for a potential move towards Tikvin. They also seem to have moved a few units away from this area, so if I can put a unit here, attack, there is a potential chance if they don't do anything I can take this hex, meaning that that will remove their second port from supplies at that. Interestingly though, we mostly hear enemy units moving. So pause here. So another rifle corps attacking into that position. They must have been thrown right into the cauldron for their taking horrific losses in there. Grabbing anti-hexes. I guess that must have been like a new front or something. I don't know. But it seems like they're going. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be exceptionally pleased if the turn is done here for them in terms of attacking, but that would be weird. They seem to have taken back these 2 positions, suggesting at least that they are holding Tikvin through some means on the outside of it, at least. Tikvin, of course, being their rail line now. We have a unit, I believe, in this swamp hex. If I'm allowed or capable of moving it 2 hexes up, it would cut the rail line and thus also the supplies up there, potentially. Because it'd be pretty far. I'm not quite sure whether they'd be able to get there all the way to that port by truck from, say, well, if I move here, it cuts it here from this position. Like, that's really far through woods. I'm not sure whether they'd make it. They might still be able to then get a trickle from Tickfin over there, but not even necessarily that. Pushing these guys back and potentially cutting off the units in here would also be an exceptional boon. It would relieve so many units down here. Right, I'm gonna meet you back because this is probably gonna take quite a bit of time here on this from frontline parts, so I'll be right back. Oh, okay, so it seems like they're actually trying to break out there after all. Failed, so probably be able to remove that next turn. If they don't have too many units here, I might actually be able to use these forces as a strike team to then start moving back up, and these down to encircle some core units over here, which would be great. Seems like these guys all don't have any points, which would suggest that then they will not be able to perform through any means an attack to recapture some form of supplies. That's it. Ah, there's flying in supplies. Fair enough. Alright, let's take a look. This held. This held. I'm very pleased at that. I mean, I'm not in Moscow yet, but there's time. There is time. Of course, I've been pushed back slightly up north here. In my first playthrough, I was able to hold out along the Moscow-Volga canal for a bit there. Of course, ultimately during that winter, I was pushed back towards a line along here near Kalinin, and then further down Volokolamsk and Mozhaisk. That was actually a pretty big retreat comparatively. Still surprised they were able to pull that off, but you know, and then I never got into Moscow again throughout the entire campaign. Of course, it was a victory, but still, you know, I was not able to capture Moscow back then in that playthrough. That was a shame. I did kind of surround it, but then it was really like still a big fight for the encirclement, and I actually was not able to hold that encirclement up until the end of the game. So, just because they kept smashing through my units and breaking that encirclement. It was a really big encirclement too, like going all the way out there, so it was pretty tough to hold with the meager forces that I had there. Still, it does make this game very exciting, I think. At least for me, I'm having tons of fun here, trying to still win. And since we're still not... like, it's still not out of the question entirely whether I will be able to make it or not. Like, there's still a chance I'll win. I lost 46 tanks. Soviets lost 628 on the battlefield, 1,400 guns, and they have a total of 100,000 men less on the map. I have to be careful because I captured a lot of trucks, but then it's going down by a bit again. I have 2 units isolated. 3 unready, 122 units under strength. Axis ground success in North Africa. That's great. That's quite nice. Okay, and then Soviet partisans, sure. So no actual events, except for a garrison shortage in the Transcaucasus for the Soviets. Negative political implications. Sure. We also had this air success recently. So I certainly do hope that they will hold out a bit longer than historically was the case. Well, I don't know how long such success delays the enemy. I mean, certainly the amount of ground combat is medium, and I'm quite confident they will start attacking again pretty soon with very heavy attacks once they decide that the Allies are going to be on the offensive again. I wonder if there's a Kasserine event, and that will put the fighting at very heavy, or something like that, or an attack on the Mareth line. Although we're not there yet, because the Mareth line is some place here, I believe, like near Medellin, and definitely not here. So I think that's somewhere around here, because then the Allies, they went around these hills and they attacked, I believe, through there in the rear. Like they had to go over these hills like that, which is why I think the Mareth line was there. Yeah, so not sure how that goes. Let's quickly take a look here. We're actually at 100 in terms of ground now in Western Europe, so I'm happy about that. 109 here, even though I removed those coastal forts. This is pretty interesting. It's a shame, really, I cannot remove some of those. 101. That will allow me to remove some air units as well. That's great. The garrison is at 101. Africa, we're doing great. Italy, at least on the ground, we're doing okay with 105. And then the Balkans, that's also good. I can technically remove the Croatian infantry. Potentially 489. I could, yeah. Okay. Sweet. So the Croatians can fight somewhere else then. I will. I'm actually shocked they did not attack these guys. Obviously they're in trouble because they don't have supplies again. But the fact that they did not attack those units is very good for me. Seems like it's up. What? Oh, wow. How the Soviets did not do anything there is beyond me. They seem to have pushed quite a few units in there. This also held ridiculous. Holy moly. I mean, this didn't, but I don't really care. Huh. They'll also allow me to move into these two hexes. And they'll allow me to cut off these tank units. Sweet. I don't think I'll be able to break this that easily, but I'll try. And I actually think I might be able to pull off an attack here too. At any rate, I'll wrap things up here because I'm quite sure my time is up for this episode. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to the next turn. Man, things are looking sweet. I did not think that I would say this, but it's looking pretty good. It's just, yeah. All right. One last thing. Let's take a look at the weather. Currently, heavy snow everywhere, and that will. Or it's on the ground. Never mind. Weather, air, blizzard everywhere. Next turn, only in the north. All right. Let's take a look here. Manpower losses for the Soviets 170,000 last turn. Gun losses 3.7 thousand. Tank losses 1,100. Fuel stores for us going down slightly, but not in any meaningful way. Total men also interesting. Soviets going down by 100,000. There's a discrepancy of over 1 million now in the total amount of units on the ground. Total guns, Soviets going down by 1.5k. We're going up by you know, 100, 200, I suppose. Still, the difference is too big, but at least we've cut the difference in the amount of total guns from 42,000 up here to a meager 27,000 here. So the difference is quite a bit lower. And in terms of tanks, that's pretty much the same too. Even though we've had huge tank losses up till now, like the gap here is about 8,000, and currently it's 5.5-ish. So that's also a big difference now. We still have more aircraft because we're not using them. But yeah, all right. If we look at on-map forces for the Soviets, 5.16 million in a way. We're at 3.18. Then of course they still have more forces on the map, but we have a lot of units in theater boxes, which means that we have, you know, higher total men, I guess. No, I guess they are checking this. So total forces here. Yeah, I would assume that's also in the theater boxes then. Alright. Thanks for watching. Take care. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.